When you think of biographical information, you would start with geographic preferences, and then in the geographic preferences, you have nine divisions out of which you can choose three. And then you are expected to describe your preference or lack of preference. Now, we'll take questions at the end of this segment, but if you select a particular geographic division, then only programs located in the division will see your response. All other programs will see no information. Remember, they will not see any information. If you select, I don't have a division preference, and you describe why, then all programs will see your response. In the sense, it will either be, I don't have a division preference, and if it's an out of geographical area, then it'll just show that you haven't responded. If you do not respond or skip this question, no information will be provided to any program. Any questions on this slide? We can go one by one, slide after slide in this area, because this is an important area. Any questions on just the geographic preferences slide? So up to three divisions, and then you describe why. Second option, you can just say, I don't have a division preference. Third option, you just can decide to not respond to that question or skip that question. So these are the three options.
Dr. Manuru, I have a question.
Yep.
So, what is usually preferred? Like, can we go for the three geographical locations, or is it okay to put I don't have division preferences? Because a lot of people say that it's usually recommended to have some geographical preferences.
It's a great question to ask. So it all ties together on the why.
Okay.
So if your why is meaningful in your decision, then it will be accepted. What do I mean by that? Is let us say if my spouse is in New Jersey and I want to stay around that area, or let's say my next family member is in that area and I'd like to be there, or let us say you love that uh, training around that area in regards to some sort of a condition or diversity or something like that. You sure can describe those, but they have to connect into your why. Now, you definitely can say, I don't have a division preference. Now, when you think of what's more impactful, what I have heard and what the data shows is that program directors and programs do consider candidates who have expressed geographical preference. But then they also look at why they have said what they have said to actually decide if they are genuinely tied to that geographical area or not.
Thank you, sir.
The second thing that programs are open to is people who have clearly said, I don't have a division preference because of so and so reason.
Mhm.
Now, if we look at the bucket that says, uh, or that hasn't responded or have skipped the question, that group has had mixed approaches by programs. So the geographic preference, it's a good thing if you are really genuinely tied to that area. Number two, I don't have a division preference and you give a good explanation. That's also great. If you completely skip that question, there's mixed emotion around that piece.
Okay, sir.
Any questions?
Sir, we do have a question on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It said, Good morning, Dr. Dev. I have wanted to ask a follow-up question. So, apart from our USCs and family, what else can help us finalize our geographical location?
I I think it all depends on how you narrate the story. So now let us say you've you had a phenomenal experience during your US clinical rotations and you've stayed there for almost like 6 months and you've gotten to know the area, you love the culture, you like the people, you like a certain type of uh, you know pathology that's prevalent in that area, you could speak to those. How much will they impact your chances? Will depend on what the programs are seeing and why they, and how genuine it is what will matter. All right. Any other questions? If not, I can move forward because, I can't see the questions. I'm turning this way to look at them. Avraj, should I move forward?
Yes, sir. I guess this will be good.
Okay. So now when we go to the setting preferences, you do have options. If you indicate a preference or lack of preference for setting, your preference and corresponding application or explanation will be shared with all programs. If you do not respond or skip this question, no setting preference information will be shared. I encourage students to at least give their response. I would encourage you all to not skip a question because of uh, the lack of clarity around that piece. But I can tell you for sure that if you answer a question and you're genuine, you have more chances rather than just leaving it blank and letting people figure out what your intentions or thoughts are. Hometowns, please see the definition when you pick hometowns because I've seen quite a few times students pick hometowns without having an understanding of that definition or that guiding statement. So, areas where you currently or previously lived and feel strong ties or a sense of belonging. Now, when you think of this, if you say, "Oh, I love this area," and you were there only for 2 months, it doesn't make sense. So don't go down that path of trying to make a story in order to make one. But if you genuinely feel something and something clicked and you want to share that, it's totally good. You may enter up to 3 hometowns. Questions on this topic?